It's good to see you guys. I thought the week was a real positive one. I thought that our Tuesday practice might have been the best Tuesday that we had, and I thought our Thursday practice might have been the same, and best Thursday that we had. So, a lot of good things throughout the week, and then I look at the emphasis on takeaways. I look at the emphasis on being physical and running the ball, and then to see it transfer over on a game is pretty cool because it hasn't really happened so far like that this year. And I think just the growth of the team. I think this has been a team where we can all tell them that the stove is hot, but they have to touch the stove. And I'm hoping that we don't have to touch the stove anymore on certain things. So, take any questions you guys got.
Dave, 6 sacks, 5 interceptions. You can't really expect a better performance than that, can you?
I'm proud of him. I think a lot of credit goes to Ron Roberts and that staff. I know that there's probably more early morning and late night meetings this week than I can remember. I think offensively what Tech is doing really stresses you, and there's a fair amount of creativity with their plays and their tempo for sure, and just all of it. And so I credit those guys, and then I credit the players too, because they went out and really had a chip on their shoulder and played with an edge. Now, I will say, that starting in the third quarter, right, it gets down to it gets down closer than it probably should be. I think all of that is still growth for us. I think as a team, we are probably, I imagine like everybody else, when things are good, we're happy, and when things are bad, we're angry or we're mad, and you just can't, that is not going to cut it. That's not how you win, And so when things are good, we have to have a chip on our shoulder, and our standards have to be higher. And we need coaches and we need players to hold everybody to that standard, and we're fighting for that.
Dave, you talked about them getting a little bit closer. It was a one-score game, and you answered with that 75-yard. How big was that, just to kind of, again, create separation, but answer their score, I guess?
It was good to see. I thought offensively, the offensive line really took it upon themselves to impose their will and to really be physical. And you could see, and then our running backs too, really worked on playing behind their pads and turn their legs and all of it. And so I thought our receivers did a good job blocking. I think all of that really played into it. And then when you can run the ball like we were doing, then it opens up RPOs and play action passes and that. And so I think the physicality, we get that for 4 quarters, then we're a little bit closer to who we want to be.
Dave, how do you think your team responded to this crowd tonight?
Yeah, I think when you execute, you silence the crowd, and that's really the only way that the crowd gets silenced. You can wish that it would go away, or you could try to talk louder or yell maybe, but the only way the crowd goes away is if you execute. And so it ain't really about the crowd, it's about what we can control and what we do. And so I thought there was times tonight where we really focused on the focus, and so it was good.
It seems like when you need that drive, you guys run the ball, especially with Richard. When was that point when that trust became what it is, to where when you need, like I said, 50, 60 yards, you go on the ground with a guy like
No, I appreciate that. I think, when you need it, I wish it wouldn't come down to that particular score when we would need it. I wish that we could kind of keep our foot on the pedal the whole way, and we're aiming to do that still. But then I think, we're built that way to go to the run. And I think, we've done that earlier in the year, and just, no one noticed because it didn't work, and so now that we're there's like I say, I think so many times when there's some youth, it's just the words aren't enough. there has to be actions, and I don't know. I need to probably find better words because it'd be easier to not go through it, to have to try to get closer to it. So.
Dave, it's got to be rewarding as a coach when you do get like the definition of complimentary football. I mean, that's what y'all had tonight is, you know, defense gets a pick, you go take it in and score, you know? I mean, and then the times when special teams had to step up, like Isaac Power had a punt inside the 10, you guys get a pick 6 right after that. I mean, how fun was that?
I thought there was good things. Yeah, the credit goes to the team. I thought, you know, one of the hardest things about night games on the road is that the distractions, just all the, you know, there's so many things that can get in the way. So, you know, they're watching games that are on TV, and they're seeing this and they're seeing that, and they're talking about this game or that game, and then, you know, if you're not careful, just like how we would be as fans, well, this could happen, and that could happen, and this could happen, and all that, I guess, has a place, but has nothing to do with the game that we're about to play, and it's just stuff getting in the way, and you know, in the past for us, that has gotten in the way, and so for them to handle all of that the right way, and then you know, to be in tough road environments and almost you know, reach a peak at pregame, and then come into the locker room and have to try to regain what we just kind of blew off the top in pregame. That's happened too, you know. And so it's the amount of things that a lot of times you take for granted, and you really have to coach, and you have to step by step get it to where you want it. I think a lot of those things are going well for us now, after a lot of failure.
Dave, you guys dominated time of possession. Did you feel like that was necessary in such a quick strike?
Yes. Yeah. You know, I think anytime you're facing an offense as explosive as Tech, you want to physically impose your will. You want to pound the rock, and you want to limit their possessions.
Coach, that 2-minute drive right before the half, how good is it to see them execute it? I mean, near perfection with 13 seconds left. And then also, what does that do for the team to grab those points right before the break?
It was good to see. I think we spend quite a bit of time on that during just our practice schedules, and it was good to see just the calmness and not forcing things. You know, I think one of the things we talked about this week was that games like this, you know, with all of the storylines and the night game and the guy being, you know, celebrated here, you know, at whenever that was, just all those things that come up really don't have anything to do with the game. And so you go into the game, and if you don't let those distractions in, you find that all that I need is to be me, and all our team needs is for us to be our team, and not really go outside of ourselves. And I thought that's a great illustration of that 2-minute drive. Was that there was a great patience and confidence that you really can't fake.
Reese had 36 carries tonight, 31 last week. Did you get 40 next week in Norman?
Yeah, you know, when we're walking up walking up here to the locker room, he put his arm around me and he goes, "I'm ready for the next one." You know, and I think that's totally him. And so we're blessed to have him. He's special now. He's just gonna keep getting better.
Coach, do you have an update on Drake?
It doesn't look great right now. I think we're still waiting on you know, some X-rays and all of it, but it's unfortunate for Drake. I think he was really playing well, and I thought that he had a great energy and a great confidence about him in this game, and so I'm disappointed and sad for him.
You guys really gave them nothing. What was the key there and kind of shut them down in the first half?
Really, yeah, just motto going into this game was to execute from the start fast, play green. I felt like we went out there and we executed from the start. We were more physical. We were just playing from whistle to whistle, playing smart, doing our job. Everyone was doing their job. Communication was on point, and we just went to our expectations and executed them.
Matt, you guys preach jackers and robbers and creating turnovers. How great was it tonight? It seemed like almost every session you guys are coming away with.
Yeah, man, it was great. I know we came into this game wanting to take 3, from the old motto, take 3. But, I just felt good coming into this game. And just from the start, interception, getting turnover after turnover, it was a key point to helping us win this game.
Matt, for you, obviously, this is your first collegiate win, I think, out here in the area. Kind of where you grew up.
Oh yeah.
What does that mean to you?
It's awesome, man. It's a blessing. I can't speak about how much it means. It's just coming out to West Texas. It's just I remember getting off the plane. I was like, oh yeah, the dirt smell. That's just what I needed.
And then also, going that extra, element of going up against Joey, and so many of you guys know him personally. It seemed like there was an outpouring afterwards of love. How do you guys balance that? Competing, but then showing a little respect to that guy afterwards.
Right. I think we just from the get-go coming into this game, we were saying like, yeah, emotions are going to be high. We love them and all that, but at the end of the day, we don't like them throughout the four quarters. So just coming in with emotions high and knowing what we need to do to execute and where we need to do to put our emotions to the side and just play ball.
How fun was it for you guys to silence such a rowdy crowd?
Oh, it was awesome, man. I remember seeing them just leaving early, even when they stood a chance. Just seeing them leave early. I guess you could call them some fake fans, but it was just nice.
Did you visit with Landon after the game?
Yeah, I saw Landon. I said hey to him. He told me about having a little torn labrum earlier in the week, so it kind of made me a little sad, I guess you could say. I saw him at first. I remember the very first play before the play. I just looked at him. He looked at me, and we just did a little head nod, saying what's up. So it was great. It was great seeing him, a former teammate.
For you guys, after the way West Virginia went, you guys got out to a big lead. They came back and ultimately won that game. Now it's kind of 2 games in a row where you get out to the lead, team comes back, but you guys have been able to close. What's been that difference that's allowed you guys to finish, even when another team has momentum in the second half?
Right, I think just pounding the rock, man. We came in the locker room and just preached like, hey, this game's not over. And just from the West Virginia game, the past experiences, we knew that we had to come back into this half and pound the rock and out-physical them, out-effort them, fly to the ball, and let every snap be our best snap.
Now, when you look back at that West Virginia game, I mean, does this even look like the same defense?
No, not at all, man.
And what's been the difference?
I would say more effort, played way more physical. We came into this game with a great game plan, something we haven't ran all year. So I think installing that throughout the week and executing it at a high level and just practicing with full effort every day and having intentional reps, it led over to the game.
Matt, what did you actually think of the crowd noise compared to maybe Provo and Ames and West Virginia? It didn't seem that bad.
No, I thought BYU was more electric, more intensified. I didn't think their fans really, or the crowd really brought it like we were expecting. I think we had high expectations as to what we were going to expect coming into the game with the crowd and how it could be a distraction, but I don't think it really distracted us one bit.
Like the way you guys answered when they got it to 24-17, just talk about that drive and being able to answer after they cut it to a 1-score game.
Yeah, that was the emphasis all week, really. And in the past few games, I don't know if y'all have, I'm sure y'all have noticed just us not being able to fully close out games and, making key mistakes, including me, like, whatever, if it's a fumble, a pick, or whatever it is. We've struggled in that area and not being able to close the game out, and I think it was really good to see us be able to do that tonight. And I'm so proud of everybody on our team.
Well, it looks like you took a couple shots tonight, and then there were some guys that kind of got up and were a little, not injured, but they were shaken up. Do you feel like tonight was more physical than other games?
I'd say so. I think, it was every game's physical, but you know, they were ready to play. We were ready to play. A lot of the people that were on that coaching staff was at Baylor maybe a year ago, and so I think that had a lot to do with it. They had those guys ready to play, and so were we.
Like, can you just talk about what Richard's done the last couple of weeks, maybe all year, but the last couple of weeks in particular?
Yeah, he's a stud. Our O-line is great too. I mean, I was even handing the ball off a couple of times, or most of the game today, and it was just like, golly, like you just look at the holes that are being made. It was unbelievable just to like watch after I hand the ball off. And it's actually like I was watching like a fan sometimes because it was just like, golly, like they're opening holes. He's hitting them and finding them, and he's been electric, you know, the past couple of weeks for sure, and all season.
What does this game do for you, for the team? I mean, you know, with still a lot of football left to play.
It does a lot. I mean, that was a huge win for us to come on the road. It wasn't easy to come on the road and beat a team like them. They're a great team. We came in and handled business, and I think it just gives us momentum if we take it the right way and be able to take the positives and also look at the negatives in the game and be able to grow from the game even though we won. And be able to bounce back and have another good week next week. It's key for us to come back and be ready to go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of next week and put together a good week.
Like, how do you mentally get past that hurdle of after you take a big hit, you're in concussion protocol, of that ability to scramble and know that might happen again?
You talking about tonight?
Just in general, when you even last week, when you come back and you've still been scrambling just as much as maybe before you took the hit. How do you mentally get past the hurdle of being worried about it happening again?
Yeah, I mean, the game of football is pretty violent, so I mean, you know, there's times where, you know, you're gonna have to take those hits and be able to wear them, and I took a few of them tonight, maybe in the past, and it's just about getting back up from them and keep on going and not letting that stop me.
Like, I saw you in the tunnel before the game, you were pretty fired up. Is that usually how you are, or was there a little extra juice going into tonight?
Usually I'm pretty fired up to play. I'm always ready to play, and so yeah, I mean, maybe tonight, I don't know if I was a little more, I don't know, but I mean, I was pretty pumped to play.
How did you feel about this crowd and the noise they brought, or maybe did you think, what was your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I mean, it was every road game's a challenge, just with communication and things like that. I thought they were pretty loud, and I thought we were able to execute with communication and being clear with what we were supposed to do. We had a few hiccups, and we were able to bounce back, and that's the biggest thing. So yeah, it was fun to play in though.
Like on the pass to Howell, you seem to have a good connection with him all night. But on that touchdown, did you see him late, or was it going there?
Yeah, he was actually my second read. So as a play action fake, I turned around. Gavin was my first read, and the safety kind of blanketed that, and I went back late, and that was my second read to Howell, and he made a good play and got his feet in, and it was a great play by him.
You did seem to have a good connection with him. Maybe you do all the time, but it seemed like, especially now, you have a good connection with him.
Yeah, I just expect us to continue to grow. This is his first year playing. This is my first full year starting. So just for us to keep building on this and keep getting better. I mean, he does some unbelievable things. I mean, it's kind of gone unseen maybe a little bit this year with him, but he can do some great things. He's very lengthy, and he can catch the football really well, and he's really fast. So the more experience we get together, the better we'll get. So just got to keep working.
Like, you may have already answered this, but this felt like a real team win. Like,
Yeah, for sure.
true complementary football. Did you see that?
Yeah, I felt that. You know, whenever we were down, the defense picked us up, and special teams at times. And then whenever the defense, you know, maybe struggled a little bit, we were able to back them up too, and that's what it's all about. Just being able to come together as a team and being able to find that, you know, driving factor, and everybody has a role in that, and even the guys not playing. And so tonight, I really felt it a lot. I felt us play as a team more than ever tonight, so we got to build on that for sure.